Women are taught now to pick careers before relationships, pick careers before men. So then that way, if you spend your whole lifetime trying to build a career, Aaron, you're lucky. Most women are going to put their career before their man.
Who's teaching that?
But we're gonna go into a whole nother thing.
I'm just asking. Like you're saying you're
wait,
taught.
But wait, I'll get into that. But can I finish my thought?
Yeah.
Like, so when we're talking about right now in this day and age, women are taught to put yourself first. Travel before you get in a relationship, okay? Experience life before you get in a relationship. Work and achieve some type of, financial accolade or, educational accolade before you get into a relationship. I'm just confused because when a man finally comes into your life, a man's been taught his whole life, this is what you have to do for a relationship. If you want a relationship, you got to be able to have money so you can give to your relationship. You got to be able to have all these things so you can give to your relationship. I got to be a man enough and be able to protect so I can protect my relationship. When right now, in 2022, women are taught to do everything for themselves and nothing for a relationship. So when you ask me, are women programmed to be single? The answer is yes. Who is it by? That's another conversation. But it's because you're biting into the bait of all of this hype to do everything for yourself, do everything by yourself, but not realizing that usually, and we don't have a stat right now because this is new. Maybe in the next 30, 40, 50 years from now, we're going to be like, well, damn, everybody who bit on that bait is now single and probably don't want to be.
I don't like to generalize because everybody's upbringing is different, right?
True.
There were no men in my family growing up. I was in a single parent household. I didn't know what a man was supposed to do. I didn't know what he was supposed to pay for. I didn't know how much he was supposed to make. I didn't know what if he was supposed to fix stuff, throw stuff out in the garbage, whatever. I didn't know. I had to learn that later on in life. So almost, if I have 20 close friends, only 3 of my friends had fathers. So they didn't know either. Like, there's mad people around me who didn't have a father. So for this conversation, like, men are taught what? None of us were taught anything about a man. Like, literally, mostly all the women were the ones working, taking care of all the kids. Men were not around. So this whole generalization that men are supposed to do this, I'm like, really? You don't say? Because never heard that, never experienced that. I didn't experience it on my end as a woman. And none of the boys that I grew up with experienced that on their end as a man. They grew up with a single mother who literally did everything by herself. He saw her hold everything on her back by herself. So he didn't know what a man was supposed to do. So now when he gets older, like I tell people all the time, like if a man doesn't know what he's supposed to do in his 20s or 30s, you can't just automatically throw him back in the water because he doesn't know. You got to look at his context. You got to look at his history. He might have not had a father. He might have had a super overly independent mom, just like you are, who didn't ask for nobody for nothing. He never saw no guy give her money to pay no bills, get her hair done, take her out on a date, throw the garbage away, fix anything. So how in the world you going to get mad at something that he just genuinely did not experience?
One thing that you said, Rico, is that women are taught to go travel and go do this and have a career. But these just kind of seem like things that you want an adult person to be able to do for themselves. You want an adult to be able to have a career and provide for themselves. You want an adult to know how to clean up a house. You want an adult to know how to cook. You want an adult to know how to pay their bills on time. You want an adult to know a lot of just basic shit in life, right? So I don't know if that's programming for women. I think it's more so how we're raised. Our parents raised girls to live and survive. That's not how they raise boys. So that's kind of where things, kind of separate. So if we have an issue, we got to talk about it at the root, where this all comes from.
Yeah.
And you kind of just alluded to that when you were saying, well, you don't know what men are supposed to do because that wasn't your upbringing.
A lot of men
into the same argument.
A lot of men are mama's boys. Men are mama's boys. They will testify that their mom may not have made them throw away the garbage, do their laundry, pay no bills. There's grown women who are competing with men's mamas right now. Because they acting like they man or their freaking girlfriend or like going back and forth with having a battle with who's the woman of the house or who's the woman in his life, the top priority or whatever. So it's like,
Who make the best mac and cheese?
right, like you can, or so you cannot like act like that's not a thing as well. Like there's a lot of men who are raised by their mom, especially
In our
I
community.
don't want to say especially a single mom, but sometimes a single mom, and they're like, yeah, well, my mama did all of this stuff for me. So what you about to do, right? And if you're like, expect him to have some sort of independence, responsibility, whatever, pay or just be present, like be active, proactive in the house. They're like,
know how.
exactly.
Right.
So it's like,
It's crazy to me. Can I just say everything that I need to say? It's
Go
a
ahead.
lot. First of all, it's crazy to me that women that have a dad,
minute.
right,
Mm-hmm.
want men to do everything that their dad has done. Okay? Women that have a dad expect for a man to do everything that their father did. Right? Am I right or wrong, Aaron?
No, can you explain what that means?
That means if your dad provided, if your dad protected, if your dad was loving and caring, whatever, if he was overly emotional, if he was overly strong, you typically tend to go, hold on, I'm not done, don't interrupt me.
No, you asked me a question.
No, I wasn't done yet. I was just making sure. I want to finish my thoughts.
Boy, if you don't go ahead and finish.
All right, so let me start from the top.
Oh
It's
my God.
crazy to me that if a woman who had a father present wants a man to emulate a lot of the things her father or a lot of characteristics her father had, right? Now, when a guy had only his mother present, we shame him because he wants a woman to emulate a lot of the characteristics that his mother had. We have to be mindful of what your upbringing is. Shout out to Marie. If your upbringing means you're accustomed to a man doing that for you, then the next man that decides to be with you has to meet those standards and criterias.
But that goes against you saying that they're programmed to be single.
Hold up. No, it does not. I'm about to get to you, right? I'm about to get to that. If a man wants a woman, if a man is raised by a single woman, and he's expecting a single woman to do everything for him, such as you mentioned, right? He gets shamed upon because women aren't supposed to do that. So now it's like, well, as a lady, when are you going to pick your side of the fence? Because if I was a woman, or for example, I'm a guy. I'm not even going to say if I was a woman. I'm a guy who grew up with a single mother who did everything.
Right.
Okay? At what point I had to decide as an adult.
Where did you get it from?
Time out? No, it's not. I didn't get it from nowhere.
So how did you learn it?
Hold on. I had to decide as an adult what works, okay? And guess what? Once I decided as an adult what's worked, you know what I did? I stopped getting all of my homies who was raised by single mothers because they knew nothing.
Okay.
I started getting new homies that had both parents in the crib so I can learn something.
So you learned it from somewhere.
But what I'm trying to say is people tend to click on to their friend groups who suffer from the same traumatic upbringings as them. And I don't knock it for it because misery loves company. But I'm saying me and people like myself who grew up with a non-two-parent household have to understand that the way that we grew up was not right. It was not right and it was not conducive to the child. And the only way you can fix those patterns and fix those tendencies is if you actually learn to start to look outside of yourself, get a friend group, a mentorship, whatever it may be.
I agree
so
with
then that way you can start to learn to fix your home. These are solutions that Aaron like to talk about.
You brought up daughters who are raised by their father. It is very rare when compared to single mothers raising sons that single fathers raise daughters. So we are not comparing apples to apples with that statement. So let's
Can I
first
make a clarification?
What?
I was talking about being raised with, not by. So if you were raised with a dad, even if you were separate, but your dad was
But that's
present.
different. You can't compare someone being raised with their father, okay, in a two-parent home to someone who's raised
comparing it
singularly by their mother.
Yes, I can, because when you're talking about singular, You're talking about singular versus a duality. You're talking about two people versus one. I don't care if you go to your dad's house every other weekend or your mom's house every other weekend. You have both parents present. That means you have an ideology of a respect for both genders. I'm using you as an example. Yeah. She had, quote unquote, no idea. You understand what I said? She had no idea of what a guy was supposed to do because her, and as long as almost all of her friends had no men, and her own family had no men present. How is she supposed to understand what a man is supposed to do or a role he's supposed to play if none of them are present? Now, if she had somebody that was there, potentially, she might be like, okay, look, maybe my parents don't work for X amount of reasons, but guess what? When I do go to my dad's house, this is what my dad does. Now she starts to build an ideology of what a man is actually supposed to do rather than trying to guess and fantasize on what they're supposed to do.
Rico,
three different scenarios.
Thank you. You're not talking about the same thing.